8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by Dilini Gunavardhana and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasizes the need to uplift cricket in the country. The Supreme Court rules that Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Mahinda Rajapaksa, Basil Rajapaksa and others are responsible for the economic crisis. The State Minister of Finance, Shehan Semasinga, says that the government intends to achieve an economic growth rate of 1.8%. The Rupavahini Corporation Bill and the Cinematograph Amendment Bill will be tabled at the House in the next year. In foreign news, Italian humanitarian aid is entering Gaza. In sports news, the National Youth Sports Festival will commence on the 16th of November. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasizes the need to uplift cricket in the country. If the economy of the country can be restored, Sri Lankan cricket can be restored too. President Wickremesinghe made these remarks at a discussion held on the Budget 2024 with heads of the media agencies today. The President said this budget will make a substantial difference in the economy of the country. He added that his prime focus is to gradually restore the economy without any political motives. The Supreme Court today ruled that former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and former Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa and several others are responsible for the economic crisis that Sri Lanka is grappling with. On that account, the country's highest court's judge bench determined that the three Rajapaksa brothers, as well as former central bank governors Ajit Niwad Cabral and Professor W.D. Lakshman, former Finance Secretary S.R. Artigala, former Presidential Secretary P.B. Jayasundara and the monetary board members of the central bank have violated the fundamental rights of the people. The ruling was delivered based on the majority view of the five-judge bench presided over by Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya in respect of two fundamental rights petitions filed. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
The State Minister of Finance, Shehan Semasinga, says that the government intends to achieve an economic growth rate of 1.8%. Special attention had been given to the government servants, the poverty-stricken and the economically vulnerable public. Plans are underway to uplift small and medium entrepreneurs as well. State Minister Semasinga made these remarks at a media conference held at the Presidential Secretariat today. He recalled it was a challenge to guide the country to the prevailing situation. However, the President has recognized the issues faced by the public. Minister Semasinga expressed confidence that Sri Lanka will never face another economic crisis if the proposed budget can be implemented. The report of the committee appointed to look into the recent incident involving State Minister Diana Gamage and SJB MPs Sanjaya Pereira and Rohan Bandara within the parliamentary premises has been handed over to Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena. The relevant report was handed over to the Speaker by the Chairman of the committee, Deputy Speaker Ajit Rajapaksa, today. The committee appointed by the Speaker to probe the incident also includes MPs Chamal Rajapaksa, Ramesh Patirana, Gayantha Kannatilaka, Imtiaz Bakir Maka, Thalata Atukorala and Sita Arambepola. The committee met 4 times. In addition to the 3 parties concerned, State Minister Piyal Nishant was also convened by the committee as a witness. The Presidential Film Awards for the years 2019 and 2020 was held at the Nellum Pokuna Theatre today. This was graced by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The award for the Best Singer 2020 was won by veteran singer Mrs. Nanda Malini. Addressing the gathering, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunavardhana said that awarding the artists who contributed to the development of cinema commenced at the time of former President J.R. Jayawardena. However, this could not be held after 2018. The Rupavahini Corporation Bill and the Cinematograph Amendment Bill will be tabled at the House in the next year.
Enjoy seamless shopping. Open LCs, settle bills and transfer funds instantly, anywhere and anytime. With People's Bank Digital Solutions, you're empowered to do more whenever and wherever you want. Unlock a world of modern banking conveniences with People's Bank, your next generation digital banking partner. People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana says that the companies that do not function according to the international procurement process will be blacklisted. It should be commonly practiced in every field. The minister expressed these views taking part at a discussion held at the ministry today. A separate specific committee should be assigned the task of determining the price of medicines. Minister Patirana requested the officials to point out any mistakes made by him, if any.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
And now in Watchlight, the Natural Hazards Early Warning Centre today issued an advisory for rough seas and strong winds. According to the advisory, a low-pressure area has formed over the southeast Bay of Bengal, adjoining the Andaman and Nicobar Islands this morning. It is likely to move west-northwestwards and intensify into a depression over the west-central Bay of Bengal within the next 24 hours. Wind speeds will be 40 to 45 kilometers per hour and can increase up to 50 to 55 kilometers per hour. Heavy showers or thunder showers and rough or very rough seas can also be expected in sea areas. Naval and fishing communities are requested to be vigilant in this regard. That came to you in Watchlight. In world news headlines now. Italian humanitarian aid is entering Gaza. Detainees walk free after Australian High Court's life-changing decision. Uttarakhand tunnel collapse. Rescuers race to save 40 workers trapped. The Italian foreign minister says that humanitarian aid sent by Italy to Gaza is entering the besieged enclave. Antonio Tajani told the Italian Parliament's Joint Foreign Affairs and Defence Committees that Italy has sent 2 C-130 military aircraft carrying 16 tons of humanitarian aid which are in transit towards Gaza. He further added the aid travelled through the Rafah crossing on the border with Egypt. World leaders met last Thursday in Paris with the broad aim of mobilizing financial resources and finding ways to get aid into the enclave given that Gaza's medical infrastructure is fast collapsing. Dozens of people have been walking out of immigration detention in Australia after the High Court ruled indefinite detention was illegal. While the arbitrary detention of asylum seekers and refugees is a breach of international law, successive Australian governments have continued to detain refugees arbitrarily since 2004. But it all changed recently when the High Court ruled the practice was unlawful. Following the decision, refugees as well as people held by immigration for other reasons were released immediately into the community. Experts say 300 more cases could also be affected by the decision. Rescuers are racing to save 40 workers trapped inside a collapsed tunnel in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand since Sunday morning. The workers who were building the tunnel were trapped when part of it caved in due to a landslide. Officials have been able to establish contact with the men and have been providing them with food, water and oxygen while they try to get them out. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. Italian humanitarian aid is entering Gaza. Detainees walk free after Australian High Court's life-changing decision. Uttarakhand tunnel collapse. Rescuers race to save 40 workers trapped.
Development News.
In a pioneering stance to address climate change challenges, Sri Lanka hosted the inaugural International Climate Change Forum ICCF recently. The ICCF served as a global congregation of experts, policymakers, scientists and practitioners brought together to collectively tackle the critical issues linked to climate change. With a specific focus on climate change adaptation within the context of food security, this event was made possible through the dedicated efforts of Connect to Care, organized for the Presidential Secretariat and supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Moving on with sports news.
The 34th National Youth Sports Festival, organised by the National Youth Services Centre under the supervision of the Sports and Youth Ministry, is set to kick off at the Sugatadasa Stadium from the 16th to the 19th of November, featuring the participation of 3,000 athletes. This 5-day national competition will unfold in 2 divisions, catering to athletes between 15 and 29 years of age and those in the under 20 and above 20 age categories. The festival promises substantial cash prizes, with the 4 best athletes in both men's and women's categories receiving 250,000 rupees each. Champion districts will secure 200,000 rupees, runners-up districts 150,000 rupees and third-place districts 100,000 rupees along with trophies.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Commercial Bank of Sri Lanka has donated 500 trees to the Southeastern University of Sri Lanka in Oliville as part of the Corporate Social Responsibility Project recently. The initiative of planting 100,000 trees island-wide themed nation filled with trees towards sustainable development took place at the university premises with the presence of the Vice-Chancellor Ramiz Abubakar, the staff and Commercial Bank officers.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, the chairman of the Confederation of Micro, Small and Medium Industries said that for the first time in history, a huge sum of 50 billion rupees was allocated from the national budget for the development of the small and medium enterprise sector. The chairman said that he is happy that the present president has given in this year's budget a large amount that was not ever given by any government for the development of small and medium enterprises.
Weather report.
The low-level atmospheric disturbance over the island persists. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in most provinces of the island. Showers will occur over the coastal areas of the northern, northwestern, western and southern provinces. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the northern, north-central, northwestern and eastern provinces. That was over the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasizes the need to uplift cricket in the country. The Supreme Court rules that Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Mahinda Rajapaksa, Basil Rajapaksa and others are responsible for the economic crisis. The State Minister of Finance, Shehan Semasinghe, says that the government intends to achieve an economic growth rate of 1.8%. The Rupavahini Corporation Bill and the Cinematograph Amendment Bill will be tabled at the House in the next year. In foreign news, Italian humanitarian aid is entering Gaza. In sports news, the National Youth Sports Festival will commence on the 16th of November. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host as always on a Tuesday evening, Chandima Virakone on the other side to keep you in great company. Over to you, Chandima, and seeing you after such a long time, Chandima.